Hello everyone. In this presentation, I'll discuss the e-cigarettes hazards, purpose and objectives. E-cigarettes is a diverse group of devices that allow users to inhale an aerosol which typically contains nicotine, flavoring, and other additives. Objectives of the presentation. Overview on the hazards of using e-cigarettes. Understand the trends of e-cigarettes usage in the United States. Deep dive into the e-cigarettes use among youth and young adults in the US and New York State, including its hazards. And finally, address actions taken by New York State to control e-cigarette smoking. Table of content. Number 1. Hazards caused by electronic cigarettes. 2. Graph that reflects distribution of e-cigarettes users globally. 3. Use of e-cigarettes from 2011 to 2015 among school age in the United States based on the Surgeon General report. 4. A representative chart of e-cigarettes use among school age in New York by year 2014 to 2016. And finally, table listing the e-cigarettes health hazards and actions taken by New York State to control e-cigarette smoking. Hazards caused by e-cigarettes. E-cigarettes has harmful ingredients. Most of e-cigarettes contain nicotine, which is a harmful drug found in cigarettes. Other ultrafine particles that can be inhaled deep into the lung, such as diacetyl, which is a chemical linked to serious lung disease, volatile organic compounds, heavy metals such as nickel, tin, and lead, aerosol that can harm the body, and flavorings agents to target the very young population. E-cigarettes can lead to increase the number of youth and young adults who are exposed to nicotine, lead non-smokers to start smoking conventional cigarettes, sustain nicotine addiction to smokers instead of quitting completely, increase the likelihood that former smokers will again become addicted to nicotine by using e-cigarettes and will start using burning tobacco products again. Distribution of e-cigarettes users globally. According to the Euromonitor International and the CDC, the United States represents 44% of the world's total e-cigarettes users, with almost 9 million smokers. The UK is the second biggest contributor with almost 15% of the world users. There are an estimated 21 million users globally. This slide shows the use of e-cigarettes from 2011 to 2015 among school age in the United States based on the Surgeon General report. We can see that there is increased incidence of e-cigarettes smoking in all students, including middle and high school, from 2011 to 2015, from 3% to almost 30% between all students in the US. Here we can see the increased use of e-cigarettes among middle and high school age from 2014 to 2016 in New York. In 2014, in middle school, there are 6.9% who are ever used e-cigarettes compared to 14.1% in 2016 and 3.2% of current users in 2014 compared to 6.4% in 2016. Regarding high school, in 2014 there are 21.4% who are ever used e-cigarettes compared to 43.8% in 2016, while the current users were 10.5% in 2014 compared to 20.6% in 2016. E-cigarette health hazard and actions taken by New York State to control e-cigarettes smoking. E-cigarettes contain nicotine, which is highly addictive. Nicotine is harmful to the brain. Nicotine exposure during youth and young adulthood lead to lower impulse control and mood disorders. And finally, cause acute toxicity and possible death. Aerosol liquids can include toxicants, which can cause serious lung disease due to volatile organic compounds such as benzene, which is found in car exhaust, and heavy metals such as nickel, tin, and lead. And also, e-liquids produce chemical reactions that may result in the formation of new harmful compounds that are carcinogenic. Action taken by New York State to address hazards caused by e-cigarettes and limit its use among youth and young adults. In November 2017, e-cigarettes and similar devices are included in the state's Clean Indoor Air Act, which prohibit their use and tobacco smoking in virtually all indoor public areas, including workplaces, bars, and restaurants. State law also prohibits the use of tobacco products and e-cigarettes on the ground of all public and private preschools, nursery schools, and elementary and secondary schools, as well as in school vehicles used to transport children or school personnel. Summary: the United States is the world's leading e-cigarettes users with over 9 million consumers. E-cigarette use is a significant health risk to young people in the United States. Besides increasing the possibility of addiction and long-term harm to brain development and respiratory health, e-cigarettes use is associated with the use of other tobacco products that can do even more damage to the body. The growing trend of e-cigarettes users among school-age students is an alarming alert to expanded health hazards for the upcoming generations. New York State has stated federal regulated laws to control the expansion of e-cigarettes use. E-cigarettes usage is a major public health problem in the US. Reference and thank you.